Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, good luck. I just found literally a euro on the ground. Hi, okay, so my name is Thea. I'm a Pilates instructor. This will probably be a long series of Pilates in Paris. Okay, so if you don't know me, my life dream has been to go see the Eiffel Tower, and for my birthday this year my boyfriend took me to see the Eiffel Tower. Insert clips here of me being at the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so I wanted to do a Pilates in Europe series and kind of go through all the places I went in Europe and kind of tell you about them while we do Pilates together. I know, it's weird. Okay, so we're gonna start in Mermaid because that's how I feel today. So we're gonna put one foot in front and one foot to the side. We're gonna bring a forearm down and we are going to reach it over, big long stretch, beautiful, and come on up, open it up. Okay, so when I was a kid, I was obsessed with world fairs. I was obsessed with this idea of countries showing off their technological advancements of the future. So I was really into like just, you know, the weird shit at the World Fair. So the Eiffel Tower was built by Mr. Eiffel in 1989. So it took 2 years to actually build it, and it was only supposed to be up for like 2 years after that. But and the French people hated it when it was initially built. And now it's like this world icon, and they've painted it like 12 times or something crazy like that. And I, in my head, thought it was silver, which is why I'm wearing silver. But it is actually kind of a rusty brown color when you actually see it. So we're gonna hold this forearm here. We're gonna lift this chest. We're gonna reach this arm up long towards the ceiling, really strong core. And we're gonna lift this knee up. I know, that's it, that's the whole thing. So really strong core here. So I've been obsessed with the Eiffel Tower, and I collected Eiffel Towers and I've always wanted to see them. And I started dating my boyfriend 3 years ago. It's gonna be 4 years soon, which is crazy. And he's like, well, I've already been to Paris. I don't want to go back. I'm not going to double track. Like, he's a traveler, so he's been to 47 countries. And he was like, no, I'm not going to backtrack. And I was like, okay, well, someday I'll go to Paris. Someday I'll save up enough money and I'll go to Paris. And he surprised me one day and he was like, you know, on your last tarot project, because I used one of his credit cards to buy the initial thing, because it was way more expensive than I thought it would be. And he got free airline miles from it. And I was like, well, since you kind of got these airline miles, I want to take you somewhere you really want to go. So let's go to Europe. Let's go to Paris. I lost my shit. I cried. I was freaking out. And it was so long ago that I didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so far away, whatever. And so let's come on up if you're feeling it. So you're welcome to stay on this knee if you want to, or come on up with me. And we're gonna sweep this leg around and tap. Beautiful. So sunshine with us today. Woo! So you're welcome to come back out of that form if you want to. So I didn't think anything of it. It was like February. So we go to Paris. Literally, we got off a plane. I was so jet lagged. I've never been on a flight that long. I know nothing about flying. Like, I've been to Aruba, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Dominican Republic. Like, I've traveled a lot, but I've never gone to Europe. So it was really exciting, right? To go to Europe to finally see the Eiffel Tower. So the first thing we did was we took the metro, and the sea line was closed. So we couldn't even take the metro to the Eiffel Tower. We had to like go stop somewhere and then walk to the Eiffel Tower. And so we walked along the Seine, beautiful river there. And we kept getting close to the Eiffel Tower. So I kept taking all these pictures like with the Eiffel Tower, but we weren't like, oh my God, I can see it. Oh my God, I can see it. But we weren't quite there. And then finally walked up to the fucking gardens, and we're right there. Sorry, I'm all cussing. We're right there in front of the Eiffel Tower. And it was just, oh my God. It was like when all of your childhood dreams come true in one moment. It was amazing. All right, we're gonna come back onto this forearm. You might already still be here, that's okay too. And we're gonna lift this leg, and I want you to straighten it out and bend it. So, you know, we buy a bottle of wine and some snacks, and we just sit there and stare at the Eiffel Tower until like sunset, because that's what we do. But yeah, that was my first day in Paris, and it really like specifically do anything. Magical. Literally fucking magical. Anyway, we're here. We are back. So straighten this leg out. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna take this leg and I want you to lift it forward. Nice. So that core is nice and strong. We're not sinking into that shoulder. So what more can I tell you about Paris? So in Paris, mon français est très mal, mais je parle. I talk to everybody. I don't speak very good French necessarily. My problem with French is I have problems with the enunciation. But I took French for 8 years. I took it for 4 years in high school. I took it for 4 years in my undergrad. I was obsessed with learning to je parle français. You know, like that was like, so everywhere I went, when people would talk, I would talk back. And I would start to say, oh, désolé. Like I would just like, I would speak French without realizing that I knew French words. And I could read French and clearly understand it. And my boyfriend would ask me questions and I would answer him in French. And it was like so annoying because he doesn't speak any French. So we're gonna put this foot here. I know. And we're gonna lift it up. Noise. Lift it up. So this is kind of turning into a hip killer, which I don't know, that kind of goes with like the emotional thing of like coming into your childhood dreams, right? So my childhood dream to see the Eiffel Tower. So let's like work our hips. That's where our emotions are, right? Like in our hips. So let's do it. And yeah, I love talking to people. I love talking to waiters. I love how slow and flirty French is. If you speak French, please be my friend and let's talk in French. I would like to go spend like a month in Paris and just like speak French. Let's bend this knee. Let's grab this foot. Let's lift your chest up. Ooh! You notice I put on some flowers. Getting really into the mood. Okay, let's do that other side. So we're gonna start other foot in front. And we're gonna come down. Let's reach it over, reach it along. Nice, beautiful. Okay, so what more can I say about Paris? I don't know why I've been always obsessed with the French language. I think it was like I had the option to take French or Spanish, and I'm from New Mexico. So in New Mexico, most people speak Spanish, and you know, yo soy Thea. I speak a little bit of Spanish just from like being here because everybody kind of like speaks Spanglish. Everybody speaks Spanglish here, kind of. So, and there are definitely things that I'm like, holy crap, I más cerveza, por favor. Can I have some more beer, please? Like I know things in Spanish, and I took Duolingo for Spanish when I went to Mexico. I've been to Mexico a couple of times. We went to Guadalajara. We went to Anganguejo, and then we did the Baja, like the, you know what I'm talking about, Baja California, like that whole tip, that was super fun. I went with a girlfriend and my boyfriend. It was so much fun. Anyway, so like Spanish I sort of picked up as an adult, but French was always one of those things that I studied, and I was really nervous going. Like I did a little bit of Duolingo. Duolingo just like inflates my ego because I do so well in Duolingo with French that I'm just like, is this teaching me anything or just reminding me what I know? And I'm sure it's helpful, right? So we're gonna hold it here. We're gonna lift this chest, and you're just gonna lift this leg up towards the ceiling. Real strong core, not sinking into the shoulder. Sorry, this is like, is this a Pilates class or me talking at you about how much I like France? Sorry. Yeah, so anyway, the people in Paris were so nice. We kind of over museumed it. I do have to tell you, I wasn't that into the Louvre. I mean, I was into the Louvre, but it was like, it was really big, right? Like there's these 14-foot ceilings with these beautiful paintings. Like I've taken art history, and I love art history, and I'm so interested in so many of these pieces, but it was like 30 of them on a wall with 1,000 people. It's like, can you quietly sit with a painting and contemplate what the artist felt in this giant museum with all these people? I didn't even wait in line to see the Mona Lisa because it was like, oh, that's far away. I don't want to wait in that line. But like it was cool to go to the Louvre. Like it was an experience. Buy your tickets ahead of time if you're going. But like we did the Monet Museum, we did the Rodin Museum, we did the old museum that's
in a train station. And I'll list all the museums I went in the credits so you guys can kind of see where we went. And I'll definitely probably do another video where I'm a little more together with it. I just kind of wanted to make, so we're gonna maybe come up. Maybe you're staying on that forearm, it's okay either way, and you're gonna sweep this foot around. So I'm probably gonna make another video that's a little bit more like planned out. This is kind of like, this is my excitement of going to Paris. Like my inner child was totally fulfilled. I got to go to Paris. I got to speak French with French people. It was just, I don't know. I hope, like, my French teacher died when I was a senior in high school, but I hope she's looking down at me, Madame Sam. I hope she's looking down at me being like, you did good. You did good. I hope she's like, no, I'm glad I gave you B's the whole time instead of F's. No. She had me and my friend Patricia, because we were the only ones doing French 3 and French 4. She had us, like, reading novels and like listening to stories and watching movies and writing essays. So like I can read French very well, but I never really had the ability to practice French. So that's why I think if I went to Paris and like spent a month there just painting, just doing Pilates, I could be fluent in French at the end of it because I have the background of it. What I need is to be more confident practicing it like that immersion within the language. So I love it. I loved it. I had such a good time. We overdid it every day. I didn't do jet lag well. So we got there at 9:30 a.m. and then we kind of just went to the Eiffel Tower and got drunk and hung out in front of the Eiffel Tower. Like we dropped off our bags, figured all that out. That took us a while. So it was like 2 p.m. by the time we got to the Eiffel Tower. And then by like 9 p.m., still wasn't dark yet. The sun doesn't set until like 9:30, 10:30 at night. So it wasn't even dark yet. So we started heading back to our little Airbnb that we got, which I will also recommend. We had a great stay. It was a beautiful Airbnb. Okay, maybe coming onto this forearm. Let's lift up this leg. Let's straighten it out. So it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. But that morning, so we went to sleep pretty early, maybe like 9:30 p.m. Maybe like 10:30 p.m. we went to sleep. And then I got up at 7 a.m. and I felt great. And I went for a run. It's a beautiful run. I got really lost in Paris. The streets make no sense to me. So Albuquerque, where I'm from, is like on a grid. So it's sort of like, if you know where Central is, if you know where Carlisle is, you kind of know where everything is. But in Paris, right, they have those subunits. And so nothing is in straight lines. So it's more like DC. And so I just kept getting lost. And I was going to run to the Eiffel Tower, but I like literally couldn't find it. So I didn't end up making it to the Eiffel Tower, but I went to the Arc de Triomphe, which they were setting up for, get this, on my morning run at like 7 a.m. in Paris, they were setting up for the fucking Tour de France. So they were setting up everything for the bicycle race, the Tour de France. Oh my God. So I got to just run down that main avenue up towards the Arc de Triomphe with no traffic, with no cars, and like police escorting me so I can enjoy my little run. It was amazing. The police were like, Bonjour. They were so flirty. Ooh, loved it. So I get back to my room and then we go out and we start to do stuff. But then by 3 p.m., I hit a wall. I hit that. Like if you've ever did long-term travel, I just had travel fatigue. It was like travel sickness is what I felt like. I just couldn't stop yawning. I couldn't stay awake. And it took me like 4 or 5 days to get over it. It kind of sucked. I just kept drinking espresso. I was just like, wake up. There's so much to see. Okay, so we're going to straighten this leg. You're going to kick it forward. Oh yeah, you forgot we were working out, huh? You were just so into my story. Anyway, so I'm just in such a good mood. So that was day 1 and day 2 of Paris. And then day 3, we tried to do Versailles, but the C line of the metro was closed. So you couldn't go to Eiffel Tower, you couldn't go towards Versailles. So we were just like, well, Versailles is not happening. And then I was really unhappy with my outfit because I like picked my outfit for Versailles, so I was kind of grumpy. And my boyfriend was like, let's get a beer. Let's sit in front of the Eiffel Tower and let's think about it. And he like perked me back up and got me in a better mood. He's like, your outfit is fine. I was like, well, maybe we go back to the room and I can change because this is what I wanted to wear to Versailles. So I packed terribly for this trip. So my thinking in my head was, here's all these cute outfits to wear in Paris. But I didn't actually think through the rest of the trip. So we went to Paris, Vienna, Budapest, Frankfurt. So the outfits I had were like this. They were completely non-practical. So we're gonna hold this foot here and let's lift it up. Ooh, you feeling those hips? Getting into those hips. So the following Monday, so the next day was my birthday. So I was literally in Paris for my 33rd birthday, and we went up the Eiffel Tower. So we had the first tickets available. So first thing in the morning, we go up the Eiffel Tower. There's nobody up there. It's just us. We have some lemonade up at the top of the Eiffel Tower. It was just, it was surreal to see something, this piece of architecture that I've collected, this piece of architecture that I've thought about, this piece of architecture that I've drawn, to be like physically in it. I was just like weeping with happiness. I was so happy. It was like, you guys don't even know. All right, we're gonna sweep this leg back. Let's grab it. Let's give it a good hug. Yeah. So pull that leg in, get that big stretch. So yeah, and then we went to this really good vegan restaurant. I had a lot of trouble eating. Unless we specifically went to a vegan restaurant, it was really difficult for me to eat. I did lose like 5 pounds on the Europe trip, not intentionally, just because it was like I was having beer for dinner, which is not exercising, walking too much, the whole thing. So we're gonna spread those knees, we're gonna drop big circles. Let's loosen up that spine a little before we go into some core. Anyway, so back to my Paris trip. So it honestly, I felt so unreal being in Paris, and it felt surreal. It felt, you know, when you achieve a big dream, it just feels like portal opening. It feels like world opening. It feels like, let's go that other way with that circle. It feels just magnificent, you know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna bring those legs out in front of us, and we're gonna curve that spine. Let's come all the way down. We're gonna bend those knees. Let's cross one foot over, hands by your side, and let's pick it up. Nice. Just getting our little core, getting our little hips. Sort of like a double whammy, right? Like, that's what Paris felt like. It felt like emotionally healing, a culture shock. Like, Paris didn't really feel like much of a culture shock. The rest of Europe definitely felt like a culture shock. And I know I'm like American swine here to be saying that, but it was a little bit like, so we went to Austria after Paris, and it was like German, but with an Austrian accent. Like, it's slightly different. And ich spreche kein Deutsch. So the two things I know how to say in German are, I don't speak any German, and I love you. Ich liebe dich. That's all that I can say in German. So, and that's with a German accent, not with an Austrian accent. So that was difficult about going to Vienna. It was just like getting into the mode of learning that I spoke better French than I thought I did, and then going and trying to speak German was a little bit like, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's switch sides, let's switch sides. And we're gonna let that leg up. Yeah! Anyway, so, and then we went to Budapest, which is like a party town. And at that point, we had been going hard for 10 days straight. So going hard, sleeping 6 hours a night, getting 20, 30,000 steps a day. And then to go to Budapest, which is like party town, was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired at this point. So the trip was like mind altering. It was really good. It was really fun. I'm very appreciative of it. I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, if that doesn't sound too lame. But yeah, I loved Paris. Okay, so we're gonna do some old school Pilates here. We're gonna bring those legs up and maybe hands underneath you. What I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you drop those legs, lift those legs up and reach them. So I'm gonna scoot down a little. We'll do this with Thea. So legs up. We're gonna drop those legs. Core strong. Reach. Maybe touch behind you, maybe not. Maybe just work on having that control to bring that back down and lower. Yes. So what else can you tell you about Paris? Oh my gosh. So yeah, the food wasn't as good in Paris. We did have some macaroons, and everything that was vegetarian had a lot of cheese in it, and like I'm vegan, and like when I travel I'll go pescatarian, right? Just for convenience. Like I'd rather enjoy the culture and just whatever the least harm is. Like I'll never eat meat, but you know, if it's, as long as it doesn't have any meat in it, you know, give me that option. Like don't make me eat the flesh of an animal. And cheese is so big there, and it just gave me such a tummy ache. So like I would eat a sandwich or like a cheese sandwich or something, and then I would just be in pain for 3-4 days. So it's like this cycle of like not feeling very good, and then just being kind of sickly feeling from the travel itself. And it just like was not a good combination. It was a little frustrating because if you guys know, I just did bikini competition where I spent 12 weeks trying to lose weight, and I essentially lost like 10 pounds without really trying to lose weight. And it's like, oh, just make yourself sick with cheese. That's not healthy. Probably lost a lot of muscle on this trip. That's probably what it was. But we're gonna do lots of Pilates together this fall, right? That's the goal. And reach. Oh, beautiful job. All right, we're gonna roll it up. Let's counter that. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble today. I am really fortunate and lucky and grateful to have had the opportunity to achieve a lifelong childhood dream, which was to see the Eiffel Tower. And I just want to say that if you have a childhood lifelong dream and you have the capacity in your 30s to go achieve it, please fucking do it. Or whatever age you are, try to achieve those dreams, because that fear, that time we spend spending of, you know, I don't deserve it, or that's something that'll never be there for me. The longer we feed into those thoughts, the more that those thoughts are true. And I want you to know that those thoughts are not true, and achieve the things that blow your mind. Look how sparkly I am. Achieve those things that aren't true, and achieve those things that aren't true. But you know what I mean? Like, make your own reality. And if you have a dream to go to New York City, go to New York City. Figure it the fuck out, because it doesn't have to be this thing that holds you back. We paid for Europe with free airline miles by doing a credit card scheme. And by credit card scheme, I mean we signed up for a new credit. My boyfriend signed up for a new credit card, used the minimum spend, got the credit, got the airline miles, closed the credit card, paid it off, closed the credit card. Right? So we essentially created this free trip. We essentially got free airfare simply by buying something we were already going to buy, which was like excess tarot decks for my project, right? So, I mean, there's ways you can credit card scheme it to get the airline miles. There's, you can take buses that are cheaper. There's other ways to budget a trip that you don't have to go. You can stay at a hostel for like $20 a night. Like you can rough it a little bit, and maybe it's a shorter trip that you rough a little bit, but that'll help you plan for the bigger trip when you come back and buy the nice hotel or whatever. But like, give yourself the self-respect and the grace to acknowledge you can achieve any dreams that you want to achieve. And that's going and seeing the Eiffel Tower literally changed me in the way that I believe in myself so much more. I feel like a piece of my childhood was healed. I feel like a different person. I feel like I've grown. I feel so thankful for my life. And I want to share that feeling and that knowledge with other people. And if you're interested in more Pilates class with me, please like, share, comment, follow me. I have tons of stuff. So I love you, and I'm sending you so much love. And I hope you join me on this crazy Pilates workout today. And come back. Next time I've got to do a video on Vienna. I got to do a video on Budapest. I got to do a video on Frankfurt. And you know what? I got to do another Pilates in Paris video. Don't I? Okay. See you guys soon.